what exactly? I'm a humble commentator from Australia. Little old South Australian Ben Rosenthal. What is Texas Tornado Rules?
What you're about to see here, Ben, is chaos personified. We are going to see here the rebellion.
Hailing
Jessica Troy
from Sydney, Australia. The team of Jessica Troy, Shazza McKenzie, the Rebellion.
Sorry, Luke Hazard would have said it much better than I ever could. Texas Tornado Rules. You are going to see the Rebellion going up against Steph DeLander and Jordynne Grace. All four competitors are going to be in the ring at the same time, and that does not change. There are no tag-ins. There are no tag-outs. Anyone is fair game. You get the pinfall on your opponent. That is match over. No eliminations, no tags.
And how are we here? How are we at this grudge match now?
Of course, it's important to note, Ben, 8 months ago, the landscape of the World Series Wrestling Women's Championship was so different. In a landscape that had Taya Valkyrie, that had Chelsea Green. You now have 4 women here on this tour that are vying for control of that championship. Remember, it was just 2 nights ago that Shazza McKenzie was your WSW Women's Champion. In record-setting time, that is no longer the case.
What was that time? I know you were telling me before.
Firstly, she's the powerhouse predator, Steph DeLander.
1 minute and 11 seconds is the time that Steph DeLander's tag team partner and the current women's champion, Jordynne Grace, needed to defeat Shazza McKenzie.
Steph DeLander, of course, coming from Australia, but now residing over in the United States, wrestling for many federations. Of course, has been a part of NXT, now in Impact Wrestling as well.
Both Jordynne Grace and Steph DeLander, both members of the Impact roster.
And their tag team partner
is an absolute powerhouse team here.
She's the former Impact Knockouts champion. Standing 5'2", weighing 140 pounds. She's the World Series Wrestling Women's Champion, the Juggernaut, Jordynne Grace.
Ben, this is the one and only 2-time World Series Wrestling Women's Champion. This belt belongs firmly around the waist of Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace wanted it, came, grabbed it. And you have to wonder who, if anyone, is going to be capable of taking the title away from her. Jordynne Grace is a completely different beast than the one that we saw a few years ago.
Sean, just look at that muscle definition. Jordynne Grace looks like she was sculpted out of marble. My goodness. If you're standing across from that in the ring...
I run.
Well, I'm not talking about you. Of course, we would run. But if you're Jessica Troy or you're Shazza McKenzie and you're coming up against the World Series Wrestling Champion and the champion looks like she could rip the head off and play football with it, that's Aussie rules football, would you wrestle or would you just walk out?
I think I'd cut my losses right there and then, but of course, we're not the ones that have to contend with Jordynne Grace.
Thank goodness. See, Jess Troy knows exactly what to do. Sorry, Shazza, you're up. Now, I'm sure Jordynne Grace is quite happy with that tag.
And I potentially had my wires crossed here on our rules of a Texas Tornado match, but be that as it may, it believes that we are going to be starting off here with, well, at the moment anyway, Shazza McKenzie versus the current WSW Women's Champion, Jordynne Grace.
Shazza asking for some quiet. Obviously, you need to concentrate. I understand that, but you know, a rowdy crowd like this in Adelaide, they're not going to stay quiet for very long. We're very excited to have World Series Wrestling back here again and cannot wait until it makes another tour later on in the year, maybe.
Just maybe. Of course, who will be the champion come that time? We know at this point both Jessica Troy and Shazza McKenzie have now faced off against Jordynne Grace on this tour, both coming up in a losing effort. You have to wonder, they are partners for now, but you look on the other side of that ring, Steph DeLander is potentially the next competitor to have a crack.
What makes you think that?
Nothing at all. Imposing physique, absolutely charismatic, talented. The powerhouse Python herself absolutely would have a claim for that title.
Jordynne Grace just sending Shazza McKenzie across the ring. My goodness.
And you have to wonder, not just sending her across the ring, sending a message to every single woman in that ring now.
Well, outside of the ring, because Jess Troy does not want to get in there, and I cannot blame her.
You can see Steph DeLander now asking for the tag, potentially wanting to show what she can bring to the table here. Now we've got Jessica Troy and Steph DeLander running shoulder block, and Troy goes down. Here, Jessica Troy, 10-year veteran, former MCW Women's Champion, former 2-time PWWA Champion, holds a victory over Steph DeLander as well, might I add.
And might I add, she's also quite well-versed at disarming people. And you know what I mean by disarming? She rips the arms out of the sockets, Sean.
It's exactly right. If you don't have the power, you simply cut down the tree. Steph DeLander has to be careful. If you leave that limb out, it's going to be ripped the hell out.
I'm just going to say, right, real quick, Sean, look at the way Steph DeLander is just cutting out the ring there. Just cutting him off. Not letting Jess get to her opponent. Not that I think Shaz is too worried about getting the tag. She's quite happy sitting at the side there and letting her tag team partner take all the punishment, because I think a message is about to be sent.
That's it. Jordynne Grace and Steph DeLander, not exactly a experienced tag team together, literally just this is probably their very first time teaming up. On the other side of the equation, Shazza McKenzie, Jessica Troy know each other very well. They first faced off against one another.
That was a 45-second stalling suplex.
Oh, 2 count. The team of the Rebellion, they first faced off against one another 2015. They were first a team together as a 2-person group in 2019. They've known each other for over 7 years. It is that experience that these two are going to have to pull upon if they want to take down this powerhouse team.
Well, I just don't think they're going to get the opportunity, because, just getting out of that one. And cut off.
Oh.
No, not cut off.
Jessica Troy having a moment, using that speed and quickness. Hopefully.
Oh, and here's that teamwork we were looking for.
Shazza McKenzie picking her spot here to be the difference maker.
Not much of a difference, because there was a 1 count and a quick kick out by Steph DeLander. But now she's isolated away from her tag team partner and the current World Series Wrestling Champion.
You can see Shazza McKenzie now absolutely okay with being inside the ring, now that we have a bit of an indisposed Steph DeLander here, now running across the ring and straight for a knee to the temple. It's one way to take out the powerhouse.
Very, very pin attempt, very close pin attempt, close to the ropes there.
Steph DeLander emphatically shoving
and look at
the
Shazza.
former champion away.
Look at Shazza. She sniffs a little bit of an advantage and just straight onto it. Get it back in the ring. Oh, what is this? What is this?
Got a Rebellion branded shirt here, and they have to be careful here not to get disqualified.
Sean, can I just point something out? We can't see it on camera at the moment, but on the opposite side of the ring, Jordynne Grace is just not really that fussed about coming to a tag team partner's aid.
Well, that's exactly right. Once again, they are not a team. If anything, Steph DeLander and Jordynne Grace are still competitors with one another. This is another person that potentially is vying for that title.
I guess it comes down to pride as well. Who really is the strongest? Who is the most athletic in the World Series Wrestling Women's Division?
Just a cheeky little wave over there to the champion, and now both Jessica Troy and Shazza McKenzie getting a gutful for their trouble here. Steph DeLander trying to fight her way and potentially get that much-needed tag. Backdrop! Both women on the ground, and you can see Jordynne Grace reaching out, wanting the tag, wanting to get in there and clear house.
And Shazza scouting her opponent well and not enabling the tag. Instead of running back and helping her partner, she decides to help in another way, with Jess quickly recovering and pulling DeLander in the middle of the ring, stomping on that arm. Gee, I wonder what she's setting that up for.
Shazza McKenzie, 15-year veteran of this business. She may have lost that match for the title in over a minute, but that does not take away from how much of a dangerous and wily competitor McKenzie actually truly is.
The tag made, just holding it down. Shazza with an axe kick right in the middle of the spine. Or was it perhaps that shoulder blade? We got a pin count and a kick out by Delander. You'll notice the Rebellion working well as a team. Jess, of course, known for just ripping and wrenching those arms out of sockets and getting submission victories. But now they're both targeting that shoulder blade of Delander. They're like sharks. They can smell blood in the water. And it's only a matter of time before they catch up and just render that shoulder apart.
And that's what these two women do so well. They find a weakness and they expose it. And they jump on board and they do not let up. And you can see so well versed in submission maneuvers, you realize you don't have the size advantage, so you cut them down, you get Steph Delander on the ground and you keep her there. Of course, I spoke too soon. Steph Delander.
Yeah, not keeping her on the ground when she can do stuff like that. Just Troy coming in. Delander blocking the attempt. Into Shazza. And a kick with a DDT.
And you can see, look there as well, Jordynne Grace perfectly happy to literally watch her opponent and scout her out. Now Jordynne Grace is going to come in and pick up the pieces. Clothesline.
Oh,
Troy down. Shazza down again. Jordynne Grace, those emphatic, vicious. Oh my God.
The power.
Former champion and current champion in the ring together.
Oh. What is this? Oh.
Muscle buster.
That's got to be it.
Oh my goodness, 2 3/4. Where did Jessica Troy come from?
Well, one day her mother and father loved each other very much. They got married. Sorry, not the time.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of, well, what it is time for here is double suplex. Oh, potentially not here. Oh my goodness, we are maybe looking at a double submission. Who are the legal people?
I've lost it in the cacophony of madness that is this match. I don't know.
It is still Shazza McKenzie and Jordynne Grace. You can see on the left side of your screen there. Now the right side. Pinfall attempt. Double pinfall attempt. Now here, I believe, is a bit more akin to that Texas Tornado style here.
Oh!
Double German suplex with the bridge. Near
Just the
fall.
two. Just the two. Jordynne Grace directing traffic now. What's she saying?
Telling Steph Delander to go to the top. Delander is not generally a high flyer here.
Oh!
And that might explain why. Steph Delander taking a nasty fall there.
Shazza sees it. No one's home.
Twisting, spinning DDT there. Shazza McKenzie is going to take the opportunity.
And a kick out from Jordynne Grace. It's going to take a lot more to put her away than that. Now, I know we saw Jordynne Grace take a few hits there, but you have to think she's still a little bit more fresh than Steph Delander, considering the punishment earlier in the match that Steph took in the middle of the ring while Jordynne was on the side. Not probably the best tactic on behalf of the Rebellion, but, you know, wearing down a muscle-bound unit like Jordynne Grace it's harder than you would think.
Don't know if you noticed there, but that is not the legal person. Steph Delander tagged in just prior. Jordynne Grace is not the legal woman. Throwing her out.
What is that?
Talk about every woman for herself again. This is competitor against competitor, the Death Adder. 1, 2, 3. Ben. Steph Delander throwing down the gauntlet. That is a clear message to the champion.
Steph Delander and Jordynne Grace.
I don't want to say I'm shocked because obviously it's the best person wins and every pinfall counts to something. And well, it looks like Jordynne Grace does take offense to it.
Drawing the ire of the champion, and now Jordynne Grace, Steph Delander are starting to go at it. This is not a sanctioned match. Oh my God.
Oh, Steph Delander's got that claw around the throat. Jordynne's up.
Boom! Massive choke slam. Statement made by the Python powerhouse.
What? Steph's got the belt. She's got the women's title. And Steph Delander making her intentions very, very clear.
There is still one night left on this tour, Ben. These women are not done by a long shot. By the end of this tour, this could be the sight you see once again. A brand new WSW Women's World Champion in Steph DeLander. Of course, for now, worth noting she is not the champion. Jordynne Grace, the juggernaut herself, leaves Adelaide as your champion.
It just goes to show how much that champion means to these people. Like, really, I mean, I understand they weren't a tag team, but they were on the same page. They did work as a cohesive unit. I mean, at what point did DeLander go, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity to stake my own claim? Is it a spur of the moment thing, or was it a subtle plan all along? Did DeLander go to management and sort of request this match so she could make her statement, so she could be propelled into that contendership?
It's exactly the kind of thing that we can speculate about but never truly know. What is for sure here?
Well, I need to know, Sean. I need to know. I need answers. When am I going to get answers?
Potentially tomorrow night. You're not going to get them tonight, Ben, but by tomorrow, we may know Steph DeLander's true intentions and what that means for the state of this division. Once again, if you are joining us on Fight TV, remember this is a tour, the Unleash Hell tour, and that title you will see again tomorrow night here on World Series Wrestling.